So I'm just gonna, for no reason whatsoever, I've just been doing a bit of work on my Ibanez. It's a RG 320 FM. It's a lovely guitar. It's quite old now. It's held up quite well. The work I've been doing on it at the moment, a little bit of electronic work on this. I had to take that pickup out. I had to do a little bit of soldering because it was starting to crack a little bit. I think there was a loose connection in there somewhere. But the work I've been doing is mainly on the bridge. I've rebuilt these and set the intonations just so because I've changed the strings. For a long time on this I had nines. Right? I had tens on it before and I had it in drop C because I was recording with it, Spirits of Malice. But this one I had it on nines because, Ibanez, shreddy, blah, 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 usual bollocks. But now I have from E to G, they're 11 gauge, and the D to E, I have 10s. It beefs up the tone a little bit because I've always found these are the stock pickups that came with it, a little bit thin. And I think that's mainly to do with it's quite a thin neck, and the body must have something to do with it anyway. But it beefs it up a little bit, and it actually improves the sustain quite a lot, particularly after the 12th fret on the higher three strings. The one good thing I will say about this guitar now is I did a little bit of work over the last couple of days on the volume, and now you can do proper swells without any jumps or clicks, and when you bring it right the way down to nearly 1, coming up 0, you get a clean tone even when it's distorted. It actually works, and I'm trying to jump back with my distortion somewhat and just use simpler effects. The other thing I had to do was, this is a new channel selector. This I had, well, it's not new, I've had it lying around for years, but it's more substantial. The other one was starting to rattle, and it done a few gigs, so it was a little bit worse for wear. As you can see, the bridge isn't actually a Floyd Rose. These are the Ibanez version of the lock and trems. Now I like this. It's a lot better than the Floyd Rose. I find there's more access to the Allen nuts here, and the micro tuners are a lot more substantial. I'd like to actually find one of these as a 7-string and put it on my Washburn, which we'll see if we can or not. You can see from this angle the way that I have the pickups set up. They look all cockeyed, and the reason being is that I have to have this one really low because that's where my pick tends to go. Right, I pick there. My plectrum often hit that, and it was starting to feed back a bit too much. I think there wasn't any damage to it. It was in the way. So if you look at that, it's nearly completely flush with the metal housing around it. The other side, you'll see that I have it raised, and I wanted the sort of almost like a quasi strat tone from this pickup here, particularly on cleaner sounds, and I've lowered it on this side, and it's actually slightly angled back. It's not quite what's the word? Not perpendicular to the bridge, and that's deliberate. The bridge needs a little bit more work. Because as you can see, it's raised just a little bit, but that's because of the gauge of the strings. I've put in new springs in the bottom of this. They're brass composite springs. There's 3 in it at the moment. I might put in another one and bring the screw all the way back. I might tighten it all the way, but they're very responsive. You can get a whole octave out of that both ways, and it remains in tune quite well. The other thing I did was, this is a new input jack. The nut had gone, the washer nut had gone. It actually needs to be tightened again. Get me pliers out. But it doesn't quite match with everything because this is chrome. But it works. Working is good. That's all it is. It wants to be a functional guitar because I want to use this live. The next thing I'm going to talk about on this guitar is the neck. The neck, if you look at the action on this, it's quite high because, I'm not a shredder. I won't deny there's limits to what I can play, but it's got just the right amount of give to it for me. The neck on this is very thin. I'm just going to pause it 1 second. I'm going to pick up and show you the neck. Here's the neck. It has It's a flat profile on the back, but it's quite thin. You know, you can see there's no. It's not like a baseball bat, but it's got a thicker neck than a lot of Ibanez's I've played, and it suits me because I like me Strat and I like me Telly, and lately I've been using an LTD Viper, which is beautiful, I have to say, and that is a baseball bat, but it's a mahogany neck as well. This one, as I say, maple neck, rosewood fretboard, but it's just lovely, you know, and it feels really nice to get it going again. The other thing is the cutaway is perfect on this. It's a bolt-on neck, but the contouring that they've done on it is beautiful, and you can see there's quite a lot of wear on that at the moment. It needs a good clean, but it gives me, especially with my small banjax hands, complete access to all 24 frets on all strings, which is very good, and also access to harmonics past the neck over the pickup, and that's another reason why I raised that one on the bridge, or on the neck, excuse me, because it has there we go, oops, that's a horrible clunk. It gives me access up here on this pickup as well as this pickup, which is very nice. The hardware used to be black, but or sort of a black and chrome, almost like a stained. You can see it remnants of it there. But over the years, you can see it's been polished back to its original chrome. This was all dark and black at one stage, and but wear and tear has to happen. You know, it's a guitar. It's a functional piece of wooden wire that needs to be used. You don't mothball these things. So you play them. It's a beautiful instrument. This isn't a nut from an actual Floyd Rose. It just seems to be better. The way that these are made, a bit more substantial. The other ones were rounded, and even with the clamps in, this E would often just, because the way that it was in the Ibanez trem, would pop out, and it really annoyed you live. This is the original bit. But there it is. That's my lovely Ibanez. It's called R, capital R, and I've had it for many, many years, and I'm hoping to get this going live. Maybe as a backup, but we shall see how it goes in the studio next week. So, thanks for watching. This is DMEB signing out. Bye-bye. Do enjoy.